Critics of President Trump's meeting with Kim Jong-un point to the dictator's history of abusing human rights, especially the case of Otto Warmbier, an American college student you'll remember who died after his parents say he was tortured in a hard labor camp in North Korea. But Mr. Trump says stopping nuclear weapons is, well, more important right now.
You have spoken so passionately about the circumstances that led to Otto Warmbier's death. Yeah. In the same breath, you're defending now Kim Jong-un's human rights records. How can you do that?
You know why? Because I don't want to see a nuclear weapon destroy you and your family.
Well, President Trump says that Warmbier's release started the whole conversation and that the U.S. summit with North Korea would not have happened without him. But what about those that are still living under the regime and those who have escaped? Earlier, I had the chance to speak with one man who was able to escape and lived to talk about the conditions he endured as a child. Author Sungju Lee was born in North Korea to a privileged family, and he spent his early years in Pyongyang. But after the death of Kim Il-sung, everything drastically changed for Sungju. Now he's recalling the years that he spent on the streets, scavenging for food just to survive before eventually escaping. Sungju Lee joins us now from Washington. He told his story in the book, Every Falling Star. Thanks very much for joining us. And your story is so, well, both heartbreaking and uplifting at the very same time. Let me take you back to the very beginning. And as a child in Pyongyang, you lived a pretty good life then.
Yes, also I was well educated. When I was in Pyongyang, I was taught that North Korea is one of the best country in the world, and then one of the strongest country in the world. But when I was 11, my father made a political mistake, and so that my entire family was expelled to countryside. So that point, I saw the reality of North Korea. So I questioned my father, are we in North Korea? And then he told me that, yes, this is the reality of North Korea.
How did your family explain to you this dramatic life change?
Well, my father didn't say that my family was expelled to different city. He just said that my family will have a holiday in countryside.
You thought you were going on vacation?
Yes, I thought we were going to on vacation.
And when you got to where you were going, what did you see?
I saw many beggars. And then the train condition wasn't that good, and then the house we got from the government wasn't that good. And then also I went to a new school there outside of Pyongyang in countryside. One day principal gathered students on the playground by saying that entire school will go to a public execution site to watch public execution. So I was really shocked, and because I thought that as North Korea has produced a new movie, it's called a public execution site. So I asked my friend, and then, okay, are we going to the cinema? And he told me that no, we are going to public execution site. So, and then we went there, and then there were adults. There are many people. So at that time we were so young and short. So the police officer dragged us and make us sit down in front row, and then we watched the public execution. That was the first time that I saw public execution when I was 11.
What was it like as a child to watch people being put to death, especially by your government?
I mean, shocking, because I couldn't speak out. I was really, really shocked. Even I was so hungry, but I couldn't have dinner that night. And then I went to home. I went home, and then I shared this story with my mother. My mother just cried.
Now there is a positive turn to Sungju's story because he was able to escape and leave the so-called hermit kingdom. That was as a result of action that his father had taken and managed to reunite both of them in South Korea. The problem is today he still has not been able to find the whereabouts of his mother.